We talked about the water slide of dissonance, the knee-jerk reactions and different things that people say. And this is part of dissonance, because when people feel fear, let's say there's a new water slide in town, and it has the big water slide called the Big Kahuna. The Big Kahuna, and it's the biggest, baddest water slide out there. Are people going to be scared to do it? And you see dissonance too, when people are scared to do something, all the different knee-jerk reactions they have. And it's proven to be safe. Everyone loves it, and you're trying to sell past that, but you'll hear things like, well, it's too expensive, even though you've proved that it's less expensive to come to the water park than it is to take your family to the movies. They'll say, well, I don't have time. Well, they come to the water park because they want to spend more time with their family. These are knee-jerk reactions. Or I need to talk to my spouse, or they're searching for other people. Because even on that water slide, let's say they're scared to do it, because the closer you get to that buying decision, the closer you get to that top of that slide, the greater the fear, the greater that rubber band stretches. And so let's say they talk to 10 people, and the first 9 say, incredible, I love it, you have to do it, it was so much fun. But one person says, I don't know, I heard a squeak. I don't think they tightened all the bolts right. It was kind of scary for me, I'll never do it again. 9-to-1 ratio, who wins? The one, because they're searching just for one little thing to back out, because there's that tension, that pressure, the rubber band stretching. You go, well, I need a guarantee, or something like that. Or we do the modify, where you get them up to the top of the slide, and this is just like the persuasion process. You get them there, you persuade them to go down the slide. They were scared to do it, there was a little tension, but once they've done that, what do they turn into? A raving fan. Do they hug you? Are they glad that you persuaded them? You can probably think of countless people in your life that you are glad they persuaded you to do something. And once they do that, they're excited. Now they hit the gift shop, and what? They're buying annual passes and tubes and shirts and things. They're excited, but you had to persuade them along the way. And there was a little tension there. The rubber band was stretched, and you need to know how to be able to handle that. So let me give you some examples. Part of understanding dissonance is getting as many commitments as you can. You learn early on that you want to get as many yeses as you can during the persuasion process. How many no's do you want to get? None. And you see this even with simple encyclopedia salesmen who knock on your door. They knock on your door and they say, do you live here? Yes. Do you believe in education for your children? Yes. You know, and they keep going as many yeses as possible, because you want to get a commitment. So you want to become financially independent this year. So you want to improve your health by losing 20 pounds this year. Get those commitments, because we believe that we keep commitments. That's part of dissonance. If you're a parent and you've promised your children that you would go camping before the summer's over, and you have the weekend all planned, you're really busy, and it's the last weekend in the summer, and your daughter or son comes up to you and says, but Dad or Mom, you promised. Does that cause the rubber band to stretch? And you'll probably go camping because you keep your commitments. Even though it's not something that you wanted to do, you do that. Now, an interesting study, this was done off a beach off near New York City, where they tested commitments, they tested dissonance, and they had people in the study. So what they do, they come to the beach, they come down, they put down their towel, and they put a radio on it, and they make sure they had someone at least 5 feet away, and they would lay down. Then they would get up without saying anything and walk away. So they were gone. So here comes a Confederate, that's someone that's in on the study, posing as a thief, walks up, picks up the radio, and walks off. Now, the person's watching this, right? There's been no communication. What percent of those people are going to risk personal harm to get that radio back? Any guesses? What do you think? 20% risk personal harm to do that. Now let's switch it up. We know dissonance. We understand human behavior. We come over, we put our towel down, we put the radio down, we lay there, and I get up and I look over to the person next to me and I say, what? Can you watch my things? Yes. There's your commitment. They keep their commitments. Here comes the thief walking along. They pick up the radio and walk off. What happens to the percentage rates? Skyrockets. 95% of those risk personal harm to stop the thief. That's the power of commitments. That's the power of getting as many yeses as you can, because we believe we're the type of people that keep commitments. And when we don't, we have to go through the denial, the reframe process, so we feel better about ourselves. And that's what you're looking for. Now here's another interesting study by Knox and Inkster. This was done in Canada at a horse track. This is really important to you as you understand the decision-making process. They interviewed people in line before they placed a bet. Before. And they weren't very confident with their decision. They weren't very confident with the horse that they had chosen. But then they put their money down, they placed their bet, and they talked to him again after they left the line. And after they had placed the money, they made that decision, they were more confident that their horse was going to win. Does that make sense? They put it down. The reason that's important to you, this is human nature. Before they decide to purchase from you, they're looking for every reason not to do it, right? After they've mentally decided to do it, they're looking for every reason why that was a good decision. Did you catch that? So you need to get them mentally involved as right away that they're going to purchase. Otherwise, they're looking for every reason not to do it. And we have rookie persuaders, and excuse my language here, especially when you see this in network marketing quite a bit, where there's 20 good reasons to join that company, and they come over and they vomit all these features and benefits why the person should join. Have you seen this happen? You're like, whoa, and what happens to the persuasion process? It sucks the energy out of the process, and they give them one or two reasons why they shouldn't do it. If you had a teenager come to you and say, I want to go camping in the mountain with my friends, oh, that sounds like a great idea because of this, this, and this. Well, yeah, and this, this, and this. Well, and this, and this. No, I don't think you should go. Have you seen that? Because they've given you one or two reasons why they shouldn't go. And as you look at your product or service, what are the main features? Your feature, well, the car goes 0 to 65 in 5 seconds. Well, is that why people buy? It isn't. What is the benefit behind that? And we get stuck in that world. And so if you're not sure how to turn your features into benefit, you could say, well, why does this concern me? Which means, so if you look at the feature of your product, well, it does this, which means, and that gets you to the benefit. Why should they care? Again, it doesn't matter why you like the product, why you like the company, you're talking to another person. They don't care why you're doing it or why you're selling it or why you joined. They're looking for reasons. So you need to look at your features and benefits and really dig deep. Okay, am I listing features or am I talking about the benefits to them, benefits that they care about? And that's why great persuaders are great at asking questions, because it'll lead them right down the cycle of persuasion. So here's the 4-step application to dissonance. The first thing you do is you find the cognition. Again, your cognitions, your beliefs, your attitudes, your thoughts. So if you were selling a product, financial planning, financial independence, you would find their cognition. Their belief is they want to be financially independent, they want to retire at 50. That's their belief, that's what they want. You found that out through question. When somebody says, well, I want to be financially independent, you would say, well, why is that important to you? What's important about financial independence? And ask questions and use silence. People will spill the beans. Have you ever seen Barbara Walters do an interview? She can get anybody to cry. Have you noticed this? She'll talk to a big star, and you watch what she does. Tell me about your childhood. And they go off, and she's all, and they keep going. And she goes, yeah. And they keep going. They're like, okay, I took drugs as a child, and they break down and they cry, and she didn't really say anything. It's her facial expressions, and you just ask questions. They'll tell you exactly why they're interested. And that's what you do. So you find out their belief, find out their cognition. Why are they there? And then get a commitment. So what you're saying is you want to be financially independent by the time you're 50, and you want to get that all into place this year. Yes, there's your commitment. You have to get a commitment. Step 3, now you create the dissonance. A little pain. You get the rubber band to stretch. So do you feel like you have financial security at your current job? In your current path, do you feel like you're going to achieve that without changing anything? You're creating the dissonance. And number 3, the reason you're there is that you're offering a solution. What is the solution? You're the solution. Your product, your service, your idea. You are the solution. Okay, you have to offer the solution. 4-step application. Okay.